Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of College Hockey Talk. On today's episode, I am joined by senior on the Arizona State Women's Club Hockey Team, Malak Rabuck. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast today, Malak, and how's everything going?
Everything's going good. It's sunny out here in Arizona, so can't complain.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Now, I kind of want to start this podcast talking about the beginning of your hockey career and kind of working all the way up to where you are today. So obviously doing research on yourself, it says that you're from Westboro, Mass, but I know that you were born in Virginia. So just talk about growing up in Virginia, moving to Massachusetts, and how you started playing hockey.
So I actually wasn't born in Virginia. I was born in New Hampshire, and then my family and I moved all over the world for like a majority of time. When I was growing up, I lived like my most of my childhood was spent in Kuwait, and so I started playing. I started figure skating when I was around um 10-ish, I would say. And then I ended up wanting to play hockey really bad, but I started figure skating in New Hampshire, and then my family and I moved back to Kuwait, and I really wanted to play hockey. And so my parents were like, okay, like if you can find an ice rink out here and you can find a team, like by all means go ahead. And so I found an ice rink, and I went to them and I was like, hey, like, do you guys have a hockey team? And they're like, sure, like we got a hockey team, like you can join it. And I was like, great. And I showed up. I was like 12 years old at the time. I like just like I didn't know how to put on any of the gear. I didn't know anything. And it ended up being the men's national team. So I played on that team for about a year, and then I moved back to New Hampshire, and then I just started playing hockey up there.
Nice. What's hockey like in Kuwait? I feel like wouldn't think that they would have any hockey team at all.
Yeah. It's definitely still growing. I would definitely not say it's at all compared to anything that we have in the States or Canada or anything like that. But it wants to be there, and it is a growing program, so it's pretty cool, and it's definitely a sport out there that like you only get into if you really love it. So everyone that's on that team and that's going to be on that team is just really in there to help grow the sport. So it's a cool
Yeah,
team.
that's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool. Is there only one rink in Kuwait, or is there
Yeah.
like two?
There's one rink, and I don't think it's regulation size, but there's one ice rink.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Well, at least you got the chance to play there. That's pretty cool. Not many. I'm trying to think. I feel like what is the hockey? Is there any other? Is besides Kuwait? Is there any other countries that have a hockey team in the Middle East?
Yeah, I know. Dubai has a team, Egypt has a team, Qatar has a team, and all these places too are also working to start women's programs, which is also really cool. I've been in touch with a few of those teams before. And yeah, there's that they all play each other and get better with each other, so it's really cool.
How do they maintain the ice? Because obviously it can get really hot there.
Yeah, I mean, similar to Arizona, I guess they just pay for the facilities and whatnot, but it would definitely be more expensive, I can imagine.
Yeah, yeah. Well, obviously growing up in the States, moving to Kuwait, and then moving back to the States, did you have a favorite player growing up? Did you watch a lot of hockey, or was it more of just something you liked to play?
I didn't start watching hockey probably until I was like 14, 15, like just more versed in the sport. Um, I definitely I'm sorry, what was the first part of that question?
Oh,
I forgot.
just who was your favorite player growing up, and did you like
Oh
watch
yeah.
hockey growing up since you were moving back and forth, or was it something you liked to play?
Yeah, I didn't really watch a lot of hockey to start. And so honestly, like I didn't really necessarily have a favorite player growing up. I remember my first coach in the States, I looked up to him a lot, and I still do. And he really liked like a few players, and he would just name those off, and so I just liked those similar players, but only because I looked up to him and he looked up to them. So
Do you watch any hockey today?
yeah, now that I live in Massachusetts, I definitely follow the Bruins a bit. I hope they do well this coming game.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would say that's probably my team.
Now, before college hockey, you played for high school at Shrewsbury. Talk about your high school hockey experience there, because I know it was a co-op team because you're not from Shrewsbury, but you played for that high school.
Yeah. So I was only on the Shrewsbury team for about a year and a half, 2 years. I went to like four different high schools, so I was everywhere with my hockeys and my teams and whatnot. But it was a good experience. It was just high school hockey, I just kind of went, did my thing, had fun, and came home. It was pretty simple.
Yeah, and I'm curious, what's the best memory you have from your high school hockey days?
Um, I would say I was just because I was never in a place where I was like consistently with a team for 4 years. So it's all kind of spread out. I think my favorite part of the whole entire high school hockey experience was just like meeting everyone that I met. I met people I played in New Hampshire, Virginia, DC, Maryland, and Massachusetts. So I got to meet a bunch of teams. I got to meet a bunch of people, and it was really cool. So I probably say just meeting those people.
Do you think playing hockey in different areas in the East Coast helped your development? Because I feel like the style of play is a little bit different in each area.
Yeah, I think some parts of it did. I think some parts of it didn't. I think because I did join the sport so late, it at some points was confusing because you'd hear one thing from one coach, then you'd hear another thing from another coach, and you'd be like, I don't know what to do.
Hmm.
Um, but I think that overall it definitely helped my experience and it helped me learn how to network throughout the sport and all those good things.
Now, I know you only played in Massachusetts for a year, but talk about the Massachusetts high school hockey scene and what's it like being a player there, especially in Central Mass, because I feel like it's a little bit different than the eastern part of the state, just because the eastern part of the state has a lot of those prep schools
Mhm.
that a lot of people go to. And then in the central, it's a lot of public schools. So I feel like the dynamic's a little bit different, at least from my time being here.
Yeah, I think it was a really cool experience. I mean, I know I totally get what you're saying with all the prep schools, like that whole side is just full of them. Um, but it was good. It was competitive. It was fun. It was everything hockey's supposed to be. So
Yeah.
it was really cool. And I think over the years also like the sport has grown so much there. And I have a little sister. Her name is Miriam. And I see it through her and I see how much she's and how quickly she's developing because the sport's just growing so quickly in that area. So
Yeah, no, it's definitely, I hope that it continues to grow because I want Massachusetts to be like Minnesota, where
yeah.
people get to stay at their public schools and get to have that sort of pride for their town, where I feel like you don't really see that too much in Massachusetts because everyone goes to like all the best players will eventually have to leave to like a prep school or go to a junior team where a lot of those Minnesota players stay. And I just feel like Massachusetts needs to do a better job of trying to keep those players in public school because I think it will overall make the hockey grow in the state even bigger than it is already.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Now, how did your high school hockey experiences help prepare you for college hockey with Arizona State?
I would say um I would say that especially my last 2, 3 years is when my like high school hockey really became more competitive. I like started like, like prepping before practices or games and started like really understanding what it's like to like be a hockey player instead of just like getting dropped off by my parents at the rink and then coming home and like not even knowing what just happened. But so I think like those last 2 years were or 3 years were definitely like big development years just for how I approached hockey and how I thought of it. And I think that really led me into how I am now.
Now, why did you choose to go to college at Arizona State? Because you are a club hockey player, so it's not like you were recruited. You sort of had to do the whole normal college application process. So
Yeah.
when you were going through that, what made Arizona State the school for you?
So I didn't necessarily know I was even going to Arizona State or playing hockey at all. At one point during my application process, I honestly kind of disregarded hockey and was like, I think I might be done with this. I don't know. Especially because I also started so late. I didn't really know what outlets I had or where I would fit or anything like that. Um, but I applied to a bunch of schools all around the US for I'm a computer science cybersecurity major. That's what I'm studying. And I just kind of applied for any school that would have cybersecurity at a bachelor degree. And at the time when I was applying, now that I'm a senior, there's a few other schools, but at the time there was only like a handful or two. So I just applied to every school I could get my name under and I just toured and toured and toured and then I came to Arizona State and I was like, wow, like I really like this place. So that's just how I decided to come here. It wasn't anything special. I just liked it.
Yeah, well, it's a pretty easy place to fall in love with because the weather's
Yeah.
nice, and I've never been there, but the campus seems really cool.
Yeah, it is beautiful. There's four campuses all spread out throughout Arizona and each one of them has their own little charm. So it's a cool place.
Is the Tempe one the main campus, I presume?
Yeah. The Tempe one's like the biggest one. It's got all those pictures that you usually see and
Yeah.
those random interviews or questions that you'll see on like TikTok or something. So that's where all
Okay.
that happens.
All right, all right. Well, talk a little bit more about your major. You said that you're a computer science major and some of the classes that you're taking.
So yeah, I am computer science. I specialize in cybersecurity. So some of my classes are like I'm taking like a networks forensics class. I've taken like an applications in AI course. I've taken classes about managing the cloud and Active Directories and all a bunch of computer sciencey terms.
Is that what you're planning to do after graduation?
Yes, yeah. I'm hoping I can get a job somewhere where I can just work on that and improve my skills and hopefully I can make something pretty cool for someone.
That's cool. Well, it's a growing field, it seems like, especially with all the AI stuff, which I find kind of frightening. I'm curious what your thoughts are on it because I
Yeah.
feel like I don't know. I feel like I need humans that to do certain things. That's
Yeah.
I know, as weird as that sounds.
No, I totally get it. And I think that a lot of people are very timid about AI just because it is such a new thing and now it's all of a sudden being integrated into our lives. Like you see it in like Chat GPT. Now there's like an AI Snapchat bot. Like you see it in a lot of places, but I don't know. I think AI could definitely be beneficial. I think that there are some lines that need to be drawn as to how far we want to take it. And I think like there needs to be some definite regulations about what's considered a human job and what's considered an AI job. But I think it's really cool. And I think even after I took my course in AI and my other courses in it, I think that like I definitely found it more and more interesting and something that I would be interested in getting like a minor in or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. I was just reading somewhere like an AI bot created Drake and Weeknd song.
Yeah,
And if
I
you
heard one of
listen to
those
this
too.
song, like it sounds just like something that they would make. And I'm
Yeah.
a big music guy, and I think that kind of frightens me a little bit because I think the thing that makes music special is the human element of it and like sort of the whole artistic process of creating a song. And I
Mhm.
feel like that whole, takes that entire part out of it. And that's sort of what makes it scary. And it just how real it sounds and how real it can make other people sound too. That's sort of what you can like make you. It's so hard to figure out what's AI and what's not AI, just because it's sounding so and so more accurate than it was a few years ago.
Yeah, I totally agree. And AI just takes in like I mean like Drake and all these other artists have so many interviews and songs and whatnot that the AI just calculates that as data and takes that. And I think that like it's just able to like it has so much data to work with that it can make something sound so real as opposed to like me who maybe doesn't have that much many vocals out there on the internet. Like it would have a harder time tracking me down. Well, now I do have those, but
Yeah.
it would be a harder time tracking down or mimicking a regular person than someone that's famous. But yeah, it is wild. It is for sure wild.
Well, just letting you know, this isn't the first interview you've done. I was when I was doing research for this, I saw that you did two others, so there
Yeah.
is more videos, but this is the first one you've done since your freshman year, it seems like.
Yeah, I haven't done a few in a while. I mean, I've done a few little talk shows in the morning with our media team. Amazing media team. I love them. But yeah, I haven't done much since, yeah. I've just been caught up in school.
Well, let's talk about the hockey side of things. So obviously, talk about the process of joining the women's hockey team at ASU and talk about your journey joining the team because in one of those interviews, it was talking about how you made the team via tryout and
Mhm.
just doing research on the team. Apparently, some of the players can get recruited and then some get in through the tryout. So obviously, talk about your experience, sort of not being recruited by the team, but sort of making it throughout the tryout process.
Yeah. So as I was kind of saying before, I didn't even know if I was going to play college hockey. I didn't know if that was something that I even wanted to do. I was very set in being that saying that I wanted to dedicate my time to my schooling and I really wanted to like understand computer science because it can be a kind of hefty degree. But my parents were just like, hey, like you like hockey, like bring your gear to Arizona and you know, maybe you'll find something. You'll find like a sheet of ice, you'll find some friends that want to pick up with you, like just find something. And so I did. Um, and so I found that Arizona State had a women's hockey team, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. Like maybe I should just try out. Like this could be fun. And I tried out and I made it and it was a really, really awesome experience. I just went to the tryouts and it was very intimidating. All the girls were fast and strong and probably better than me. And I just was there with, you know, like as much hockey experience as I have. And all these girls have been playing since they were like 1 or 2 before they could even walk. So it was scary, but it was really cool to get a spot on the team, and it 100% changed my life. It's who I live with now, the team. It's who I'm friends with now. So I'm very grateful for that experience.
How long is the process for the tryouts? Is it like a week, and what do you do?
So it's about like a day or two, and you just go and you try out and you spend some time with the team, and the coaches see if you're a good fit or not for the team, player wise and like I don't know, personality wise, I would say. And yeah, you just kind of skate and practice with the girls, and you see where you fall, and if you fit, then you fit, and if you don't, then you don't.
How many girls make the team via tryout versus getting like recruited by the team?
Yeah. Usually very little. I would say that we've taken in maybe per season 1 or 2 girls via tryout. I would say it's definitely more of a recruitment process. So for anyone that is listening, if they're interested in playing on a team like this, and it's definitely a recruitment process type thing. And that recruitment process kind of goes, so basically like if you were looking to do something like that, you would reach out to the coaches and you would ask for like to come and like do like a prospect day, week, whatever it is, weekend. And you would just come and skate with us for a few practices, and then you would come with us to our workouts, and you would come and we'd show you the school and our facilities and all those things. And like our coaches will sit down with you and chat and get to know you and stuff like that. And usually by the end of that process is when you find out if you've been recruited or not. Or you can also send in film, and that could be an outlet as well. But usually the best way to go about it is to come and prospect.
Is that most how most club hockey teams find their players, or is it sort of like I feel like some of the bigger club hockey teams, like yourself, Miami, Liberty, they sort of do it that way, where other ones it's sort of like just come in and try out.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say our team is definitely um on the rise for that, and we definitely take our team very seriously. I know that in the hopefully in the coming few years that we'll see some advancements as well. So I think that our team very much focuses our energy to be as like professional as possible.
Now, is there any on ice adjustment you had to make playing club hockey compared to high school?
I would definitely say that, yeah, this experience and playing here has been the most intense hockey I probably played. I mean, like we wake up at like 5:30, 6 a.m. to get to practice. We've got workouts throughout the day. We're always moving, we're always doing stuff. And in high school, it was only like every other, like it was like a practice after school. It wasn't as intense by any means. So I think like just like getting my schedule down, getting my like eating right, sleeping right, those were the things that were challenging at the beginning.
Now, talk about what it's like playing in the ACHA and just the competition that you play every weekend. I think one thing that makes your team kind of special is you guys try to play everybody,
Mhm.
people on the West Coast, people on the East Coast, which I find kind of cool. So you get that different experience of what it's like being in different areas throughout the country, but also different talent levels and different teams. So what's it like playing in the ACHA and just the competition that you faced throughout your 4 years with Arizona State?
Yeah, I would say the competition is very high. I mean, our team is a very competitive team. We're very fun and lighthearted, but at the end of the day, we are very competitive and we take things very seriously. And we just like to, like we're just trying to grow as a program. And so I think that we play a lot of these teams on the East and on the West, and just to get more playing time, to get better, to advance, just to see where we fall and see how we can get better and learn things from other teams. And yeah, it is a cool experience that we get to play all these places, but it does help our program grow as well.
What's been your favorite road arena to play in?
I think the Yost Arena in Michigan, beautiful arena. I fell in love with that arena.
Yeah. I would say looking at your schedule, I always Mullins is always one of my favorite arenas to go to for I've never seen a women's club hockey game there before, only men's, but I always like that arena for whatever reason.
Yeah, that one's pretty too.
Now let's talk about this past season. So obviously you were a senior on the team. What type of leadership did you want to bring to the team? Were you more of a vocal leader or lead by example type of player?
Um, I would say that I would say that I was kind of like, I don't know, like I definitely believe in having like a good team morale and a good team attitude. And I like making sure that everyone, like, there aren't complications between anyone. Not that our team ever had any, but I think fun hockey is the best kind of hockey. And so I think my role on the team was just kind of like a morale booster. Like, I love to get the girls going, and I love making sure, like, if someone was having a harder day or something, I would love to check in on them. And I don't know, I don't know if that makes me a vocal leader, or a lead by example leader. I'm not sure, just because I don't know. I would hope that people would see my actions and try and do the same, or hear what I'm saying, and move up from that. But yeah, I love getting everyone going. I love saying good morning to everyone at 5 and being annoying about it. And I
Yeah.
love that stuff. So that, I would say I was that kind of a leader.
Yeah. It also must be nice too, because it seems like your team has a good mix of freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors. So there's not like it's not like you're on a team with a lot of like upperclassmen. It's not like you're on a team with a lot of underclassmen. It's sort of a good balance, which I feel like helps team dynamic a lot.
I agree. And everyone this year and in the past years have just been like, I mean, I've never been on a team where everyone just clicks so fluidly, and our team has just always been one that we accept everyone, like, for who they are, and everyone finds something to relate to, and it's a really, really incredible environment.
Now, you guys got to do so many cool road games this season, starting with an East Coast swing. What was it like playing teams like UMass and URI? And then I also noticed that you guys got to take a tour of Fenway Park, which looked like you guys had a lot of fun doing that. So, what was that experience like for you?
It was really cool. I mean, I came to Arizona from Massachusetts, and so I knew a few of the girls on URI and UMass, and it was really cool to see them again, see how they're doing, and play with them, and just like be back home essentially. And yeah, it was also fun just to see all of my, like, friends that I've made in Arizona in Massachusetts, and see them like putzing around in Boston, where I used to come in high school. And that was really cool. And the Fenway was a great tour. It was a really cool experience that we got to do that. And I had never actually taken I'd like been in the Fenway before, but I've never like taken a tour of it. So that was even a cooler experience for me, because I got to even learn more about the state that I'm from. So that was really
Yeah.
cool.
Have you ever been to a game at Fenway, or was it just the tour that you had?
We just went for a tour. We had a pretty tight game schedule that weekend, so it was just the tour. Yeah.
That's cool though. That's cool. And what was everyone else's thoughts about the ballpark? Because obviously you know a lot about it being from Massachusetts, but I feel like a lot
Mhm.
of the players that are from like Alaska, Canada, and the West Coast, they probably didn't know too much about it.
Yeah, I think they found it really cool too. I mean, we were all just like running around, like, ooh, ah, like, it was cool. Yeah.
Now, one thing that the team also did when they're on this road trip is they had dinner at your house, which I found pretty awesome to read about. I have to ask, what's it like having your entire team in your childhood home, basically?
Yeah, it was something really special. I think I will definitely hold on to that for a very long time. I mean, it was just, we had like this house that I, went to school to and from, and I mean, this like giant, like, coach bus just like parked outside of it, and all my entire team was just inside. Like, my coaches are petting my childhood cat. Like, it was really, really cool, and like, I'm really grateful for the experience that we got to do that.
How did your mom handle the stress of cooking for the entire hockey
she
team?
she is, that, I don't know, my mom is just like the strongest, most amazing woman ever. She was like, this is what I'm doing, and she just did it. I mean, she had a blast hosting everyone, and she did an amazing job with that. So
Now your school got a new arena this season, obviously called Mullet Arena, where the D1 men's hockey team plays, and obviously the Coyotes play there temporarily right now. I'm curious if you guys are going to play all your home games there next season, if that's your permanent home, or if you're still going to do Oceanside Arena. But just talk about what it was like playing there this season, and how cool is it to say that you played at NHL rink?
yeah, it's very cool. And I mean, like, the fact that we even got an arena built here on campus just shows how quickly the sport is growing. I mean, I came here for my freshman year with no word about even a rink being here, and now we've got this, like you said, a literal NHL rink, maybe 5 minutes down the road from me. So it is a very, very cool experience, and I think it also is great for women's hockey as well, because it brings a lot of new people to come and see what we're about, and it's a great opportunity for our program to grow as well. um And unfortunately, I don't know much about next year's schedule, but I do know for a fact that Oceanside, that rink is being torn down. I drove by the other day and it's
Oh, that
already,
sucks.
yeah, I know. And it's sad because that's the rink that I started in. That's the rink I tried out in, but at the same time, I think it was kind of an old barn. So
But it had character, and I feel like it
it
also
did have
helps grow the sport in Arizona having two rinks there because I feel like Mullet's always going to be busy with the Coyotes and your hockey team and the men's hockey team. So I feel like it'll be good for youth hockey keeping that there. I'm surprised they're getting rid of it.
Yeah, I know. I was sad too, but I think I'm not sure, so don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure the land was just bought out and someone's putting something there. I'm not sure what, but it's definitely there was an auction for it the other day. It's all gone.
So the entire season's going to be next year, I assume, at Mullet then.
Yes, yeah.
All right, that's cool though. At least at least you get to play in at least the team next year gets to play in a very nice arena. So
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be very cool.
now this past season, your team won the WWCHL championship. Talk about what it was like winning that trophy and sort of capping off your collegiate career in that sort of way, winning your kind of conference championship.
Yeah. That was an incredible feeling. I mean, ever since my freshman year, that has been something that we've been trying to do. And through everything, through COVID, through just the like all 4 years, it's been our goal to win that championship. And like every year we go back and it was just either like we wouldn't make it far or there was COVID or whatnot. But it was really, really special. And it was like such a wow moment. Like we are getting better. We are here to play. We are a strong competitive team. So it was really cool.
Now, unfortunately, your season came to a close against Miami, losing to them in the ACHA National Championships. What emotions were you feeling after that game, especially since it kind of ended where it started, having it be in Marlboro, Mass, which I found kind of sort of fitting in a way for you at least? And just what will you take away from your club hockey career with Arizona State?
I would say it was definitely hard. It was not an easy loss. And I know that we were very upset about it. I did find it kind of odd too how it was in Marlboro. It was very full circle moment type thing. But I mean, it was just to be at nationals though was also something that our team had never done. So even though we weren't able to make it further throughout the tournament, I think that it was still really cool for our team to be there, and I definitely I definitely expect to see us there in the coming years as well.